Everyone.
Welcome back to True Life Story. This is part 2 of part 1 of perimenopause that we are talking about. We are discussing it. This is our own experience that we want to share with you. Hopefully, it will help someone. So, here we go.
Here we go. So, we finished off the first episode, part 1. We started to talk about exercise and we were talking about the belly and, things that how you can help yourself. And we said we will share our own experiences and what has helped us. Because at the end of the day, you have to take control of this. Medication has its limitations, and of course some people choose to take hormonal replacement therapy, which is estrogen replacement, and that works for some people. But I know from being in a very large menopause group that even people that take HRT still have problems. So there's no single pill that will cure all of these problems, and
you have to learn to live with it.
You have to learn to live with it.
Know your body.
Yes, know your body. Very, very important. And do as much as you can what's best for you. Remember that symptoms of menopause, and it's important to say this, we've only mentioned, 10 maybe? I think the last time I checked, there was a list that keeps growing every time I check, and it's at about 40 symptoms.
Wow.
And some people will experience, almost all 40, and some people won't. So your symptoms may be different to what we have experienced. I had something that was very weird. In fact, I had a lot of weird ones. One of them is something called burnt tongue, and you feel like your tongue is being scraped by your tooth, but it's nothing to do with your tooth. It's a symptom of menopause, and I spent a year going back and forth to the dentist, only to discover that it was nothing to do with my teeth. Another very common one is when people feel like something is crawling on their skin, like you feel
that.
Yeah, that's quite common. There's even a name for it. I can't remember the name. Some complicated name. And again, not everybody gets that, right?
What about the electric shock?
Yeah,
even your clothes,
you feel like your clothes are
you.
irritating you. The seams of your clothes are suddenly irritating. The same clothes you've been wearing and they were fine. Suddenly your labels cause you irritation. Your skin is very sensitive because don't forget you have estrogen patches all over. Vaginal dryness is something that a lot of women experience. Loss of libido we mentioned in the previous video. So there are lots of other symptoms. One of the things, I think we wanted to use this to talk about what you can do to help yourself.
Yes.
And what we have done to help ourselves feel better. And I'm going to hand over to Janet to talk about her own experience. But before she does, I just want to mention something. Your mind is very important. And when you realize you have a problem, that there's no simple solution, how you decide to face it is crucial. If you face it with a negative mind, oh my God, why is this happening to me? I can't deal with this. If you face it with that, you're going to struggle. But if you face it with a positive mindset, which says, right, I have a problem. I'm going to learn everything I can about this problem. I'm going to ask people that know about this problem. I'm going to seek information about this problem, and I'm going to deal with this problem. So if you face it with resilience and a positive mindset, you are going to cope much better.
True.
If you face it with negativity, you are going to be, just forget it. Just write yourself off for I don't know how long. Because don't forget, perimenopause is before menopause. And this can go on for years. I think the average is 10 years.
Oh my God.
So if you decide, I can't deal with this is unfair, my life is over, blah, 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 write yourself off. But if you face it with a positive mindset, you share with your girlfriends, your sisters, you laugh about it, you joke about it, you educate the people around you, then it's going to be an easier ride. Janet, you go on and tell us the things that have really helped you and what works for you.
I would say the first thing is my husband. I give credit to my husband.
I know him. He's like
It's
guy.
my,
If you had a brother, I'd go for him. Top guy.
It's my husband, because if he didn't understand it, because so lucky when I was going through it that point.
Yeah.
He heard it on the radio, the
Right.
men calling, then it's like wake up call for him as well.
So he heard a conversation about
on the
it
radio.
on the radio. Wow.
They
Okay.
were talking about it on the radio. Then he started researching.
Yeah.
So without his support, I don't know how I will manage it, or I will be managing.
Yeah.
It's him. Some days, like when I feel like getting out, we will say, let's go for a walk.
Yeah.
And then we'll go for the walking thing. Helps me a lot.
Yeah.
I made a video about me walking there at the water side and in the farm. I do that a lot. It helps me a lot. Once I'm in that zone, the dark crowd, I call it.
Yeah.
When I start walking, it's just like I feel much better, like 50-60% better.
Yeah.
Another thing is my sister wants to talk about, because she's expecting many things. It's about drinking more water as well. And alcohol, even though I love alcohol, you have to reduce it because it gets worse with the forgetfulness. So I try to avoid that as well. I'm not saying I don't drink, but I know the time I drink and the time I don't. And also, like I said before, writing down the time of my period. My menstruation goes with this thing that we are talking about, because if you don't put down the time and the dates, you get lost. So I do that, and whenever it's changing, I just like look at it, I know, and then I change my mind. I know it's coming, so I have to prepare for it. So if the children are doing something that I think is annoying, I just like, oh no, it's not them, it's me. I have to check myself first. So that's how I'm dealing with. That's what is helping me.
Sounds good. I mean, you mentioned two things there which, like, game changer. Walking in nature, drinking water. They're huge game changers. For me, walking, I have to thank the pandemic for walking, because before the pandemic, people say let's go for a walk. I'm like, why? Let's go in the car, right? I just didn't. I love exercise. I can exercise all day long. I did not enjoy walking. But of course, when we had COVID and we had the pandemic, and then we suddenly had to deal with not being able to do anything. I couldn't go to the gym, obviously, so I started walking. Walking is a game changer. For us, especially when we're talking about perimenopause, menopause, you need peace, you need solitude, you need to be with yourself. You need some exercise, but not something that's going to kill you, right? You need nature. And you get all of these things in one activity. Walking in nature is a game changer. If you've never done it and you're thinking about it, please try it. There are lots of studies that show that people that walk in nature, and nature is important, that you're amongst, it could be in a park, garden, whatever, but you need trees and things around you, or water if you're in that kind of area. It shows that people that walk actually are happier. They have less depression, less anxiety, less stress. They're more resilient.
I think it's true.
Very, very important. So you said it. I was like, we have to mention walking is a game changer.
If you see me walking, you think I'm crazy. I was like, jumping, singing. I don't care.
Because you can do what you want, and it's me time as well. Because for most of us, if you're a mother, wife, whatever role you've played in your family, this is the time you need time for yourself. And walking gives you that opportunity. You could walk alone, you can walk with your girlfriends. When you walk with your girlfriend, we were saying this yesterday, we both have friends we walk with, and we talk about all our problems, and by the time we finish walking, we feel free. We feel
You don't even feel like you
Yeah,
walk.
no, yeah, you don't even know you're walking. It's like a therapy session, a free therapy session.
It's true.
Yeah.
Free therapy session.
Yeah, it's a free therapy session. So walking, I would also second what Janet said about walking.
Supplements.
Supplements are very important. Well, I wanted to talk about alcohol because you mentioned that.
Yeah.
And when I first started getting hot flushes, so the hot flushes and the night sweats are...
Oh dear.
Oh, God. Night sweats, let me tell you what they are. You go to bed, everything's good. You wake up, you are soaking wet. Your clothes look like you've just come out of a pool. I am not exaggerating.
True.
Your pillow is drenched, your duvet is drenched, everything is drenched. So if you imagine that when that happens to you, you're waking up wet and you obviously have to get out of bed, change your clothes, maybe change the bed sheet, interrupted sleep, and most times you cannot go back to sleep. And insomnia is something we haven't talked about, but that's another problem, the inability to sleep properly. So night sweats are horrific. If you have a partner, you will notice, so the husband, the person lying with them will notice them take the duvet off, put it back on, take it off, put it back on. One leg is hanging outside the bed because they just need fresh air, and then the next minute they're cold. And oh my God. A friend of mine, there you go, a friend of mine, they didn't see anything. A friend of mine was saying the other day that basically the wife has the air conditioning, everything on. And he's like, I'm dying, right? And she's like, I'm hot. Yeah. So he's like, do I need to get in the bedroom?
That reminds me, winter.
Yeah.
We were sitting there, I don't know, we were watching telly. But then we have sofa here.
Yeah.
I was so hot. That was winter.
Yes.
That we put it.
Yeah.
And I jumped here with my African dress.
Yes.
And I was like, I'm moving up. And my husband was there laughing.
His head off. Yeah. I hear you.
Yeah. Normally it's cold.
Yes. Yeah, because in the winter.
But then I didn't feel anything.
No. I mean, it's caught me so many times, especially, so the night sweats are what I described. And then the hot flushes is 1 minute you're fine, you're sitting there happy. Then all of a sudden it's like someone lit a fire inside of your body and your body's overheating.
You need to move the
You need to take everything off.
You need to...
And I remember once I was in the train, I was going somewhere on the underground. And it was winter, so I had my coat.
Yeah.
Everything was fine. I got in the tube, and I started to get a hot flush. And normally I have a fan in my handbag. So if you have hot flushes, I suggest you get either one of those little battery operated fans or a hand fan. I always have one. So I had the hand fan. I started doing that. Oh my God, I'm going to faint. And this is how you feel.
Yeah.
You feel that you're going to pass out because suddenly you're hot, you're dizzy. And I started taking everything off. I was taking my jacket off, my scarf came off, I put my bag on, and I could see people staring, but there's nothing you can do because you
can't even take your bra off.
If I could, I would have taken my top off. And so it's so quick when it comes on, and it's so strong. Your body, you start sweating. So these are all problems that alcohol and not drinking enough water will make worse. And when I was first told I had to stop drinking, I was like, no way, that's not happening. So initially I kept drinking as per normal, and then I realized, no, this is not going to work. So we still drink.
Yeah.
Both of us do, but we don't drink in excess.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to drink, I can drink at home, where I know that even if I get hot, I can take my clothes
no one cares.
Right? If I go out with girlfriends, I have to be careful because if you drink too much, it sets off so many of your perimenopause problems. You probably won't get a good night's sleep. You'll get a hot flush. It might mess with your digestion. There's so many things. So alcohol is a big deal. When you're at that stage, you need to cut it down drastically.
Yeah.
And you mentioned water. Water, drink lots of water. It's so important. It's so important. I try to drink 2 liters a day. It's not always possible, but I think that's what they recommend, around 2 liters a day. It just helps all the systems in your body work better. You were going to talk about supplements. I'll come back to talking about you talk about what you use. I think we use mainly the same things.
You talk about that because you know more about that.
So supplements, all this is, I'm not recommending anyone to go off and buy anything. This is based on what we use and based on our research. So I've done a lot of research, and the things I use are the things I feel do something for me. What I advise is use something, try it for 3 months. If it doesn't work, move on to the next thing. But you need to give it time to work. And supplements don't work immediately. So most people try it for a week and they're like, that's not working. No, you need to give it at least 3 months, maybe longer. So we use vitamin C, vitamin D, B complex,
Cod liver oil,
omega oil,
yeah.
very important. And I
vitamin B12 for energy.
B12, but I use B complex. I think you use B12. I use B complex, but yes, for your energy levels. I use turmeric as well, and I think you were talking about using turmeric. You don't have to take any of those things, but I found that when I don't take my B12 or B complex, and when I don't take my turmeric tablets and my omega, I notice it immediately. What you are trying to do really is anti-inflammatory, anything that will help to reduce inflammation in the body. And also you want, antioxidants, as many as you can get. You can get all of this from natural things, from your diet, if you can. But sometimes we need more than the diet can provide. And I think supplements are a good way.
Especially when you are dieting to lose the weight. So you don't take it in more.
Yes, especially as Janet is saying, if you're trying to keep the weight off, then you are not going to be taking in as much food, and you may not get enough vitamins and minerals, and that is very important when at this stage of, it's important at all stages, but even more important now. Exercise was the thing that I wanted to talk about. So what I was saying in the first video, I was talking about how you use exercise to try to maintain your body to an extent. The truth is, it's a very difficult job. I think we'll all agree. If you're not feeling great, you have all sorts of issues, the last thing you want to do is go and sweat it out somewhere, or go to a gym, or go and do a class. But really keeping your exercise, your activity levels up is crucial. This is the one thing I think for me personally has really helped me, is being active. When you're active, it pushes away a lot of the problems. It pushes away a lot of the stiffness of the joints, or blood flow issues, circulation. There's just so much. And also the endorphins help you boost your mood, because when you exercise, at the end of the exercise, you get endorphins flowing, and these endorphins are mood boosting endorphins. So, that will lift your mood. It's not, it won't solve all of your problems, but it will definitely help you. What else do you want to? And the other thing I wrote down that we should talk about was, food. Food is a biggie, because if you're trying to keep your belly weight off, but you want to eat, then it's kind of difficult. But the reality is, if you get to this point and you notice you're putting on a lot of weight, you need to eat differently. You have to cut out all the processed foods, all the junk food, all the fizzy drinks, basically all the things you love.
Like sweet.
That you love. All the things you like have to go. So it's about moderation. It's about balance. I got to a point where I thought, you know what, I'm exercising, I'm doing the best I can. I'm going to eat my chocolate because I love chocolate, right? So you have to come to what works for you. But you do have to be careful about your food, because your metabolism is different. Your body doesn't process food as quickly as possible. It's slowed down. So we need to address that by eating less and eating properly. Sleep, crucial. I had a lot of issues with sleep in the beginning.
Me too.
I had lots of issues. I wouldn't sleep at all. I'd have 2-3 hours a night. I don't really know what you can do with that. To me, nothing helped. I tried. They even gave me pills. They didn't work.
When West come to West, they gave me pain and sleeping
tablets. Did it work?
But it did work a bit. But I do not want to depend on it. So I take it when 3 days I can't sleep and I'm seeing red. Then I will take it.
Before the red.
Then I will take it. So I have prescription for it. for about maybe before the lockdown.
Okay.
And I still have it, so
Yeah.
it's not bad.
Yeah.
I try as much as even if I have 6 hours, I think it's fine. What can I do?
If I mean 6
Yeah.
hours of uninterrupted sleep, that's like
Oh
a blessing.
no, I will be waking up in the middle.
Yeah, yeah,
Here and there.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So
we want to talk about
stress and sex.
sex.
That's your sex is your field. Stress, I can just say, try to minimize stress. I know it's not easy.
It's not easy. It comes with stress.
Yeah, because this is stressful, and then you may have other stresses in your life. So if you have a very stressful life and you're perimenopausal, it's a bad combination because your stress will give you more cortisol, and cortisol is the hormone that we want to avoid. It's what is causing us to gain that weight in the middle. It's a stress hormone, and it wreaks havoc on the body. So if you have stress, personal stress, then you have this stress. Is a bad combination. So anything you can do to minimize stress, anything, whatever you need to do, you need to think about what works for you. And maybe at some point we'll do another video on stress, how to what we do to reduce stress reduction, how to think differently, because a lot of this is about how you think. How do you think so that you are not getting stressed about things? Learning to walk away, learning to forgive people, learning to get rid of toxic people. We talked about that because you don't need.
She is motivational speaker. That's
I'm a mindset coach. So
that's why you are hearing all the terms.
Yes.
She's expert.
So thinking about who do we have in our corner. The kind of influences that are around us.
Yes.
This is a good time to start to think about that. But
Yes.
I'll let you finish off with the sex talk.
Yay! Yeah, that we did not do it. I wish my husband is here.
He would be having it.
When you are in this stage, like me, I would say it depends on each and everyone. I don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
The last time I checked in with the doctor, I happened to be a Nigerian one.
Oh no!
We talk. I said, this is going on. He said, how are you managing? I said, I'm managing good. So he's look after me, everything. I said, I'm worried. The vitamins, is that okay? What I'm taking and this and that. Then he said, one important question. What about sex? I said, no.
Hell no.
What? I said, oh yeah. No, I don't feel like. He said, no. What about your husband? I said, my husband understands. He said, your husband understands. I said, yes. He said, oh, you are lucky then. And he's a man. He said, but your husband to understand that. Sometimes you just don't feel like doing it. Yeah. Period. You just don't feel like doing it. And I look back and I say, is that me or is that not me? But in this case, your partner, your husband need to understand that it's not you. Yeah. Because there's something going on. Yes. Bigger than that. Yes. So, but if you don't have a understanding partner or husband, I think it will be a big problem in the partnership or in the marriage or so. Your partner need to understand. So if you are a man listening to this, please give us space. Yes, please. It's not you. It's not the partner. And actually, you said, because as I said, because of the group I belong to, and maybe we'll put the details of the group in the YouTube under the video so that you can, if you're interested, you can have a look. But a lot of the ladies in there highlight that this is a time when a lot of marriages break up. Because what happens is you don't tell your husband, partner, whatever, what's going on. They have no clue what's going on. You're constantly rejecting them. You're constantly shouting at and screaming at them. Nothing they do is good enough. So what happens? A lot of men, and I'm not justifying what they're doing, I'm just saying this is what happens, will go outside. And this is when a lot of men start having affairs, because
suddenly they're not getting anything from you, nothing. All they're getting is animosity, anger, everything that's wrong.
Everything they do is wrong.
Nothing is good, right? And I, as I said, I'm single, but my kids, used to get this because I would literally go in a rage because of something very, very small. So you can imagine if you're the partner to someone and you don't know what's going on, you're going to think that it's personal when it's not. And it's easy then to be tempted to say, I'm going to go elsewhere. If you are getting attention from somebody else and you're not getting it from home, I'm not justifying anybody going to cheat. There's no reason for that, but it does happen. And a lot of women mention that this is when a lot of their marriages break up because they just can't be bothered to deal with the husband. And then the husband doesn't have the patience or understanding. He doesn't know what's going on. So having a very understanding partner is so important. And if they don't understand, tell them. If you can't talk to them about it, there are leaflets. You can download leaflets from the NHS website. There are many organizations that provide information for partners. So you can get a leaflet and give it to him and say, read that. You can download videos like this. There are plenty of menopause. There's so much material. I mean, these days of internet, you don't need, you can get anything online. So show them so that they understand it's not you. This is something I'm going through. It's my body is what the problem is, not with you. And I think they will appreciate it. Yeah. Okay.
We will end here.
I hope it's useful.
Yes, I hope it's useful as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining.
Yes, I'll leave your link there for them to.
If you're interested, join me on Instagram.
TikTok. There's a lot of things there. You enjoy it. Thank you.
Take care.
Yes.
Bye.
We cannot cut this into shows, so I hope you understand. Bye.